As free agency continues, the Philadelphia Eagles end up grabbing a player I don't think many people expected them to grab, and on a great deal at that. Also, they're able to get their backup quarterback, a guy that we've talked about on this show, and I told you that since the combine, they've been very, very interested. And also, we're going to talk about this CJGJ situation. Seems like it might be getting a little sticky, so let's talk about it.
You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast. So today I want to talk about everything going on, man. We got a couple of signings, we got a little bit of news going on with CJGJ and what might be happening with that re-signing. So before we get into that, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. We are on the road to 5K. We are so close. We're like right there. We're right there. If you guys could just hit that like, hit that subscribe, that would help me a lot. But let's get right into it, man. We'll start with Greedy Williams. So Greedy Williams, obviously the cornerback, former Browns player. I was kind of surprised. Former second round pick. He's got size on him. He's like 6'2". I know that Sean Desai likes size. Now you look at our cornerbacks. You got Darius Slay at 6 foot. You got James Bradberry 6'1", and now you got Greedy Williams at 6'2". So you have that size on the outside of these cornerbacks. I hear a lot of people talking about, does this mean Avonte Maddox moves to safety and this and that? I don't think so. I think this is purely a depth piece. I think this is a depth move. You look at what we have, right? And it's a one-year deal. You look at what we have. If James Bradberry, something's to happen to James Bradberry, if something's to happen to Darius Slay, you feel kind of confident having a Greedy Williams out there running a game or two, you know? And I think that even more so than that, if he balls out, he's 25 years old, turning 26, I think, in December. If he balls out, you could just bring him right back. He could be a guy that could be a long-term solution for this team. Also, I don't think that this necessarily pushes us out of the race of getting a cornerback in this draft. Maybe not first round, maybe not number 10, but maybe number 30, maybe the second round. If we trade back, get more mid-round picks, I could see that happening. I know they like a guy like Garrett Wilson, who will probably be their second or third round. So there's options that the Eagles have. There's definitely options, but it's nice to see them getting some depth, adding some depth, some much needed depth at that cornerback spot, because outside of Darius Slay and James Bradberry, who were we really looking at saying, okay, at least if everything falls off, we got this guy? So not saying that Greedy Williams is the greatest player of all time, but great depth for the Eagles. I also want to talk about a guy that we've been talking about for a while, Marcus Mariota. I told you guys a couple days back, I think a couple weeks back, that when I was at the combine, a lot of people were saying that Marcus Mariota might be ending up as an Eagle. I told you guys that he was a guy we had on our radar, and we do end up signing him. I believe it's a one-year deal. I haven't seen the full contract details just yet as of recording this, but that's a perfect marriage. You know, a lot of people were talking about Jacoby Brissett. There's, rookies in this draft class that kind of, shadow what Jalen Hurts does, and, could definitely be something in this offense. But Marcus Mariota gives you a lot of things. Marcus Mariota gives you that same type of athleticism, not exact same, but very similar athleticism that a Jalen Hurts gives you the option and the versatility to play the same style of football that you play when Jalen Hurts is your quarterback. And not just that, he's a veteran. He's going to be able to teach Jalen Hurts, the ropes. He's going to be able to teach him some off the field stuff, just how to be a professional, maybe even some, technique stuff, some mechanic stuff. We look at when we were all in on Marcus Mariota back in the day. I want to say it was like 2018, guys, or 2010, 2020. It was something like that. I can't even remember. I try to just forget it. But either way, you look back when we were all in on him, and the stuff that he brought out of college, he still has. He still has that accuracy. He still has a very good arm. Obviously has the athleticism. Just not a full-time starter in the NFL right now. So I think that this is a steal for the Eagles. I think this is a perfect marriage for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, lastly, I want to talk about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's situation. All week, I'm going to be 100% honest, full disclosure, all week I've heard that he was going to be signing back with the Eagles. I've heard that it was between him and the Eagles and the Bengals. That was everything I was told, that it was just a matter of, guaranteed money / contract verbiage, like if that makes sense. You know, it was the language in the contract that the Eagles were trying to give him, plus the guaranteed money. I heard that the Bengals gave them a little bit more guaranteed money. Now, you know, there was like a couple hours that Dan Sileo tried to insert himself and say that Denver was in, but Benjamin Albright kind of knocked that down pretty quick, and he even went on to say that he believes that the Eagles, everything that's reported, I should say, is what he said. Everything that is reported says that the Eagles will be re-signing him. Today I read that it might be a one-year deal. Not 100% a trusted source. I don't really know how, you know, accurate this is, but it's something that I've been hearing a lot, that maybe his market isn't as big as people are thinking. I do think that he's signing back with the Eagles. I don't think that there's any rush on either end, if I'm being 100% honest. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking there's a rush because, you know, there's a lot of guys that want him, blah, 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 blah. But if his market isn't as big as we thought it was, there might not be no rush, and there might be a cause for just slowing it down. And all right, let's see what we can do. If, you know, nobody has a interest in you, a vetted interest in you, maybe we can get you a long-term deal. Maybe we can give you that one-year deal and up your market value. So it's interesting. I really don't know what's going on with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson anymore. Like, we've seen so many things happen. The other day, he changed his profile picture to him in a, you know, workout outfit for the Eagles at the Super Bowl. Then he changed it to just a black screen. You know, it's so many things are happening, and it's just kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, pros, we've seen all the pros. Hard hitter, hard-nosed football player, has the energy. He's good in coverage. He's a playmaker with his hands. You know, we've seen those pros, but there are cons. There are things to look at, and maybe those cons are kind of outweighing the pros right now. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll obviously keep my eyes open for what's going on with that situation, but I wanted to come in here and just let you guys know all the news that's going on. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. Y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Fly Eagles fly, and you on the team. Touchdown, time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog, or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Deshaun, hunting like Randall. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco, thanks for tuning in.